Alright, I think this place will do just fine. Plenty of space, easy access to water, at least 3 oil nodes I can detect, and all of them right here in this location.
This location meets our immediate requirements for power expansion.
Well, we have access to the fuel power generators now, and you say we can refine crude oil to fuel. As an added bonus, both of these oil nodes are pure. Sweet!
Fun fact, crude oil was once known as black gold.
Oh, we're doing trivia now. Nice. So our 3 coal power plants are producing what, 5,000 megawatts now?
Correct. Given our current production rate of basic items at Monolith Peak and the availability of local resources, I have calculated we can comfortably accommodate 64 generators which, when fully overclocked, can produce 40,000 megawatts.
40,000 megawatts!
Before we can start construction on the new power plant, we need to link up the Grassfields region with the Rocky Desert.
The what? The Rocky Desert. Is it the desert though?
It is fact a desert with rocks, hence the Rocky Desert.
It's a little lacking in creativity, but at least it's descriptive. So, Rocky Desert. Woo! Let's go! Alright, so how do we start?
I have downloaded various blueprints from other pioneers that can aid in road and rail construction. We need to evaluate and select the most suitable for the task ahead.
Alright, Ada, show me what you got.
I have lined up a few options for consideration. Here is version number 1.
Alright, so these are fairly nice, but I think we do need to combine them with the road, and these are going to be a little tricky to do.
The rails are too far apart, which will limit viability in constraint areas.
Okay, what's next?
Vertical double-stacked rails.
Oh, nice. Okay. A small vertical profile. Should be fairly easy to combine it with roads.
This version of rails will be ideal for squeezing them into exceedingly small spaces, but complex interchanges and off-ramps makes this a less than ideal option.
Okay, next.
The next option is similar to the previous one and demonstrates a combined road and rail design.
Okay, this can work. Only issue I can see here is that the design splits the road into separate left and right tracks.
That is a good observation. I approve your tendency towards efficiency. There is one last option available that could be a good fit for our requirements.
Alright, let's see.
Designed as Rail and Road version 1 or RLRDV1.
Oh, hell yeah. Okay. I think this is exactly what we need. Alright, I like it. Let's get to work. Alright, hey everybody, this is day 180. And we are still finding ourselves here in the grass field. And back there you can see our first permanent structure that we made. This is called Monolith Peak, and we are on to our next major project, which is going to be logistics. So, according to Ada's planning, we need to build a road coming from between those big arches, goes all the way to right from where I'm standing, and heads towards that waterfall, and then over the waterfall, and it curves to the right hand side. So, let me get you a closer look at that waterfall, and we can see exactly what we need to do today. And this is going to be quite a big undertaking. But yeah, let's do it. Right, and we're back. We are right next to the waterfall. Let me show you. Let's see if we can get a back up a little bit. Don't get too close. But yeah, there we go. So the road has to come from that side, go across this chasm, over the waterfall, take a left turn, and then go around that bend on the side there. So let me switch to my front view camera. Okay, there we go. So this will give you a much better idea of what's going on here. So we're gonna have to come around this side, and if we go over on that side, We should have enough jet fuel to get it there. There we go, just enough. So we're coming around from back there where the temporary ingot production is, past our temporary plastic production and fuel, around this corner all the way up through here, and then around the corner off to that side towards the rocky desert, which is where we're going to have our apparently all of our power plants are going to be over there, so that should be interesting. I suppose there's no other way but through, so let's get to it. So we are back here at Monolith Peak, and we need to stock up on a lot of items. It's going to be concrete, steel beams. Yeah, so concrete, steel beams, and iron plates. Alright, so first up, I think, let's grab steel beams right here. Okay, so let's see. We are going to need quite a few. I think concrete's going to be this way. So let's just grab a whole bunch of these. And then we're going to need iron plates. Where we go here? There we go. And I'm just going to fill it up with those. So, alright, let's head back and we'll go to the start of the road construction. Alright, so after quite a bit of testing, we found that this line right here is going to work well. Obviously, the temp ingot production is going to be nullified at some point. And we are just going to go straight through this section, more or less at this level as well. Alright, let's go check it out. Alright, it's going to go from here. We're going to start turning it at probably like a 3 degrees, I have to say, to the right hand side. And it's going to go slightly up, and then about in the midway it's going to go straight because it's going to get enough height. So the one problem that I ran into is the upload speed for steel beams and concrete is way too low. And what I had to do is basically get all the mesospheres that I have available, the extra ones, which was only about, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them, and I had to load up, or I had to build as many dimensional depots as I can, and just so my production is okay. I've got plenty of either steel or concrete. It's just my upload speed is just too slow because I have to keep coming back to pick up more. This is the cement, as you can see, or the concrete. And yeah, just something to keep in mind, that if you're gonna be if you're gonna use these blueprints, either your dimensional depot has to be very strong and very fast and very big, and also the upload speed needs to be jacked up a little bit. So yeah, there we go. Let's jump back up here. Let me see, can I go through here? And we'll quickly go and grab as much as we can and head on back. We're still on day 180, and we are right next to temporary plastic and fuel setup. And as you can see, the road, it's coming along actually quite nicely. And the one problem that I've run into, as I've shown before, is the material cost for this one is quite expensive. And at the early stage that we are currently at, with our limited upload speed for dimensional depots, as well as the limited stack size, it makes it a little tricky. And I temporarily had to increase it quite a bit. So we've come up to the edge now, right before we need to start curving up, and this is where the tricky part's going to come in. But yeah, we're going to be experimenting a little bit more with the curves until we get it right, and I'll show you as soon as we get right over the waterfall and we start turning left again. So let me continue with this, and we'll be back soon. All right, some progress has been made. Let me show you guys. Ooh, so smooth. Yeah, it's just nice. Right, so I started on the fortification, on the reinforcement on the side, yeah, because we needed something for this turn going around. Oh, and I'll show you guys this. This is my attempt at getting it as smooth as possible when you come over this hump, as opposed to, for instance, the alternative usually is something like this. which isn't too bad, but it's very obvious that there's just like immediate change. And then what I did was I changed it up a bit so that we've got this kind of like smoother transition. And ideally I should make these a bit longer, but this is kind of like the first iteration of trying to get it as smooth as possible. Anyways, let's move on. We'll come back to that section right there. Alright, so this is as far as we got. This was the difficult part to do, was to get it to be nice and smooth all the way. And you can see here's the cavity below. This is where we're going to be running all of the belts. Well, it's going to be primarily one belt for fuel, and then I still need to make fuel stations. I might use my previous design, but I might experiment a little bit and make something that fits this entire theme here. So let's go have a look over here, and this is the beam, the little support beam that I did. But I need to do one more over here. I've got my markers set up right there, and I'm probably going to do another one over here. So I'll show you how I made this one because it looks kind of cool. It's got like this very much reinforced feel and look to it. So let's grab this guy, and first thing I want to do, I just want to bring it out all the way. So I'm just going to zoom this out, and then for this section right here is I want to duplicate this design over here. So we're going to have to go up and out twice. Okay, let me change this to default so it makes our life a little easier. And 1, 2, 4. So let's add this little pillar in here. 1, 2, 1, 2. There we go. And then we did the normal pillar on top of that one, which is the same as this one here. But these guys must go. And then we did the smaller pillar on this guy. And then from there we have these ones, which is just the slightly smaller one. We're just going to push it out for a little bit. And then we've got our new cross beam, which is really cool. Add this one in here, so I just go straight to that point. And then the way that I made, I think I went out, so what, it's pretty much on the edge. So if we go to freeform, so you'll see we've got this little section here now. And the way to get that like really nice connections right there is you're gonna have to do basically this. So you just want to lift up the center point of the connection point, of the corners basically. And then from there, you just connect those. And because your center point is now at the top of the original beam, if you page down whilst holding control, so you do like a mini nudge, you'll get this kind of connection there. Take this one out, take this one out, and there you go. Very clean and good looking connection. Let's actually just fill that little gap in there as well. And there we go. So this just makes it look really, really good. And we might reinforce this section as well. So let's see how this looks. Take this one out there. Ooh, don't fall off. Up one. Do this one, go out. Up one, so on the edge of the pillar. And down. Take these out. And then, yeah, looks good. It looks more believable as like a reinforcement section. Yeah, so these are kind of like really beefy supports. So the idea is just to make it believable that those things will hold up that section. And then obviously we've got our normal support pillars down here as well. All right, cool. So we're gonna continue with that section there at the back. With my little walkways up here. So we're gonna continue with the bend after this turn. And and then once we get around that corner, we should be golden, and then it's pretty much a straight shot all the way through to the rocky desert. Well, kind of. I'm probably going to zigzag it just because I can. But man, these roads look good. Just look at that nice little curve. And over here. Oh, here's the car. Let's grab this guy. Right. We'll do a little montage of how I placed out the blueprints, and then we'll take it from there. Alright, so we have managed, don't worry about those trees, we've managed to build quite a bit out, and the whole idea was to kind of steer clear of the land masses, or those little island bits here, and little island bit over there. And the idea is because there's going to be buildings on that at some point, and it also gives me a good reason to curve the roads quite a bit, just what I want to do, just because it looks really cool. This unfortunately, the biggest thing actually that helped me up here is the resources. It's just trying to keep going back, getting resources. I did temporarily increase the dimensional depot, so I had like 5 or 6 or 7 mesospheres, and I just threw them all in there, and it helped a little bit, but it's still a little tricky, to be quite honest. Just because at this stage of the game, my basic production isn't that fast. My dimensional depots, the stack size is quite low, and also not that fast yet, because I still need to make like a ton of fluctuators, and I need more mesospheres, and I've only basically explored the local area. This has come along quite nicely. As you can see, I think it's going to be a cool looking road, definitely. I'm actually heading back now to go pick up some more resources, and then we'll at the end there we've basically got a straight shot all the way through. But I'm thinking of building like a bridge of some sorts way at the end, and I'm gonna have a little think about exactly how I want to do that. Let me grab the resources and we'll head back to the straight section and then start working on the bridge. So I decided to try and work a little smarter instead of harder, and I brought a truck full of supplies. And I'm actually almost at the point where I want to set up a truck station and just have them keep bringing supplies, because I'm running out quick, but we're almost there. Alright, so all of these need to go. There we go. And then from here it's going to be all straight sections, so it's going to be fairly easy. Let's get the first one down. And when the first one's down, we can do blueprint auto connect, or auto, what do you call this again? Just, yeah, blueprint mode. And this will just snap in quite easily. So this section here has got fairly deep water. Not crazy deep, but still. And it gives me a nice justification to put up a bridge here. It's going to go from that section where the ground is, or where the shoreline is, up to this little shoreline section here. So that should give us an interesting looking bridge. And I'm going to try and do something a little different, bridge wise. Not entirely sure yet what. I'm going to try a couple of variations, and I'll see which one looks good. Yeah, I'm going to scratch around on Pinterest, which is what I sometimes use. Well, actually I use it quite often. Right, let me wrap up this section, because I need to go get some more supplies. And then at least when it comes to the bridge section, we shouldn't be that heavy on supplies. Well, we never know. It depends on it depends on the design, I suppose. Okay, let me go work on a couple of bridge designs, and I'll show you guys what I come up with. All right. Alright, as you can see, I've finally decided on what kind of bridge design I want to go for. Well, this guy right here is actually quite cool. So originally, I just had these spokes coming out, and just kind of like with the cables just holding the bridge, at least to one side up. But then I was experimenting a little bit with this little rounded bit here, and I'll show you guys now in a moment how I actually did that. And this is the final result. Yeah, this is looking pretty good. So let's jump back on in, and I also added a bunch of vehicles and carts that's just going from one end to the other end. I just kind of wanted to get a feel for it. So all this is on the side is pretty much just these pillars just going at an angle, and then I've got this little support bit. Let me show you. So I got a little support bit going across. And once we're done, we'll take that blue light that you can kind of see over there. Let's see, can I target it? Yeah, there we go. So this light will go, just to accent it a little bit, this light will kind of like go all the way around, same as the one over there. So pretty cool. But these little bits here, this little angled ones, just want to be careful for the cars. Look at the little card guy, just running his little ass off. Anyways, so all I did to get them is just place this guy here and move them across to kind of just touch the section. And to get the angle, I pretty much eyeballed it. Just so for instance, I will put this one here, and then from here what I will do is I'll go over a certain amount. So usually, actually no, usually I'll do this, and let's say we do 3, and then I'll take a beam, go from that point to that point. Actually it was 3, so 2 up, 3 across. And when you put the pillar on the end of the beam, it will inherit that angle as well as rotation if there is any. And you can just nudge this guy into position, so you can see there. And once you have the first one in position, you can just go nuts. And well, that's pretty much it. So this section right here, it's just a standard beam support, and I just put it on the other side just to look like it's kind of like going through. And then the cable just goes from there to that point there. But now to get the angle right, because you'll see all of the angles are whatever the cable angles are. So you'll see the angle gets steeper as we go because it's further away. Now to get the angle, it's also fairly simple. So we'll do this little section here. So let's say you want to have the cable go from this point to over there. And obviously just to make sure that this is because we want the cables to be somewhat straight, you can just take this section up and you see, okay, we need to come out a little bit. So use that as kind of like a level. So you'll see it should be right on the edge. Then you grab the cable, put it on the edge there, and then whatever you decide on, like I did 1, 2, 3. So every third one was one that had a cable attached to it. So let's say we want to use this one here. So just attach the cable to that point. So now you've got essentially a beam, because this falls under the beam category, like you can see. And then all you need to do is just put this at the end of the beam, and there's your angle, like that. Then you remove all of these since you don't need them anymore, and grab this guy. Let's put him over there, and sometimes we'll just need to extend this guy a little bit. And there's your angle. So for the top one, same story, just go to the edge, go down, I think it was just 1 click, and then this guy I just nudged into position, and there's your cable. Alright, let's go up there, and we'll quickly see. I want to duplicate what I did over there, and let's see if I can do that as painless as possible. Alright, so first thing I did was figure out what's the distance between these, because I want to have a central point. So you can see there 30 meters. Then just go from that point to there. So there's our center point, perfect. And we want to now go, so this is 15, so we want to go out 15 to that side. And I'm going to use the pillars to get the angle right. So there we go. Let's see if we can match it up. Alright, so we can remove all the other ones. Leave this middle one here. And take this one out as well. Alright, so there's our center point. Between that point and that point is going to be basically on this line. Alright, then from here, because we want to go 15 out, I'm going to just try to target that. There we go. And take this one out. So we want to go out 19, and that's basically our starting point, and we're going to go circle to this side, and then from that side we're going to circle to this side. So the way to get the turn going is we're going to do 90 degrees from this point all the way around to that point, and then the same story on this side. If you take this guy and let's say we place him down here, and we've got this pillar on it. If you rotate the pillar 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, so that's 9, that's 90 degrees, and it's 9 clicks, so each click is 10 degrees obviously. So if we want to go from this point to that point at a circle, like a quarter circle, that's going to be 90 degrees, so it's literally going to be exactly 1 click to rotate it entirely. And the reason we want to rotate it is because I want to inherit this angle, so I don't want to go flat. I want it to basically just curve from here to that point. Alright, so the way that I do this is I place this pillar directly on top of it, lock it in there with H. I'm going to go twice this way and twice that way. And now if I go down, you'll see this one, the bottom one, is now right on this corner here. So if you go from the top, you can see it clearly. Now the reason you want to do that is if you want to rotate something this way, going that way, you want that rotation point, because it's going to rotate from the center, you want it right on that edge there. And I'll show you now why I do that. So let's go 1 click, I'll place this guy down, and we switch to default mode. Alright, so now that this one is rotated by 10 degrees, you can now place this one here, and if I go forward twice and right twice, then I'm back on that center line again. So if I place it down, remove these two, and now you'll see you've got a perfect joint right here. So I'm going to do it one more time, because all of the pillars need to be this orientation. So let's take these away. I don't want to fall off here. So this guy's going to go on here. I'm going to go 2 out, 2 right. And just for demonstration purpose, I'm going to go down. So you can see now it's right there on the corner. So put this one on here, and we want to do 1 rotation to that side. So 1 rotation, there we go. This guy can then, if we jump over here, this guy can go there, go down 4. And what we want to do is we want to go into and to the right 2, place this down, and if we remove these, there you can see a perfect joint, because we were rotating right on this edge right there. The idea here is to go around until we meet at that point there. So this is our middle one. I'm going to keep this one here, and then so we're going to continue on doing this. So I'm going to keep demonstrating this just to drive the point home. So let's go down. We don't need to go down here, but I'm just doing it so you guys can see better. So over there, and we can rotate by 10 degrees, place it down. This one goes here, in 4, across, well, sorry, into, across 2, and then down 4. Place down, delete these 2, and there you go. So you can see you start getting your 10-degree turn, and it's going to end up over there somewhere. All right, so let me continue this. And if there's any questions about this technique, let me know in the comment section, but I'm sure I demonstrated it adequately. And there we go, that's a complete turn, as you can see there, 10 degrees all the way, and maintaining the angle. And there we go, 10-degree turn, nice and clean all the way through. Whoops. And that's exactly how I did the one over there. And this is day 193 And we have just concluded a pretty nice little build, as you can see here behind me. And this is the bridge that supports the road and rail combo that comes all the way from the grassy fields way back there. Circles or snakes around to this area. And then we've got a little bit of a deep ocean section here. And the bridge has been made to suspend the road over that section there. And I've got a couple of vehicles in there just to kind of get the vibe for it. And we've got a truck station on that side. And the vehicles are just going to be doing a loop just to make sure everything runs smooth, just to give it a bit of a dress rehearsal. But yeah, let's go have a closer look at the bridge, and I'll show you guys what we managed to cobble together. All right, I'm gonna switch to my helmet cam, and there we go. So we're gonna be scooting on over there, drive the section through. But let me show you what this is all about. Right, so we've got the double rail section on the top. And the design we chose has these little rail lights in it to indicate the direction of flow. And then in this side, so if you go to the other side, you'll see this is going to be all green, going all the way down. And these are going to be all red. So that's quite handy. And then we've got this cable, I suppose you can call this a cable suspension bridge. So these two arms coming out from the side. And it's been reinforced to some extent over there. Right, so we've got these massive arms protruding from the sides. They are countersunk, or they're sunk into the ground on that side. So let's have a quick little look at the support sections here. So this is the base of it. And we've got this white or the blue light going all the way around just as a decoration. And then it's got this massive support section and then the second arm supporting the primary arm. So if we go jump on top here, we can run all the way to the top, and it's maybe a good time just to show the road for the vehicles. Yeah, I'm quite happy with this design. Yeah, I'm quite happy with this design. There we go. So that's what it looks like on the inside. We've got a couple of vehicles coming around here. I've set up a car track, just why not? And we've got vehicles coming back and forth here. And these guys aren't doing anything at the moment. This is just to test, just to get the feel for it. And there's another little cart going around. I think I've got about 5 of them coming around. And here we can actually see the vehicles coming through. And another little truck. And these guys are, like I said, at the moment they're just doing loops. And I've got a fuel section set up on the other side. So every time they go to that side, they get refueled. Originally it was just going to be straight arms coming out, stopping around about here. And the idea was just to have these arms protrude out and then have the cables attached to them, which then suspends the road over this stretch of ocean or bay, over the bay. But then I thought, well, let's reinforce the arms on top and have them support each other as well with this circular motion going around. And this is just to combine the two arms and just give them a little bit more rigidity. And if we jump down here, the other side is pretty much just the exact same thing. There's the two arms coming out, and then we've got the cables keeping everything in position. So we're going to grab a vehicle, and we're going to drive this section of road all the way down to the far side, to the grassy fields. So I'm just going to jump on this guy, and there we go. So this track has now been completely automated. And these guys are just doing their thing.
I'm aware of the bonds that were created today. When you told me that sure there's a way. The water's so still and my pain has gone away. The air is much cleaner after it rains. Follow my love, the scent that's in spring air. Follow the moon into the sun. There's a call for new beginnings here. Let the sorrow of yester disappear. Let your body be new. I'm a wanderer of the soul. Before the end I plan to behold, but I know I'll lose lose myself along the way. What's gone is gone. What's past is past. Let me leave what belongs in the past. The road ahead is quite unclear. Let me walk it despite fear. The road stretches over the hills, and I've got many debts to pay. Some are on their own way. My pay is not gold. You can't take anything with you when you go. Is your life faded more than you know? A state of mind is set on fear. The end's uncertain, future's near. Follow the voices from below.
And with this, our immediate goal has been reached. We've expanded our logistics all the way from the grassy fields to what we're going to be calling the Rocky Desert. Along with that expansion, we did a rail and road combo, and we also wrapped it up with a nice little bridge over a section of the bay, just to bridge that gap. And with that, we are finally done with the logistic expansion to this point. Next up, we'll be focusing on expanding our power, which will be here in the Rocky Desert, where we will be building 64 fuel power generators along with the fuel production that is required for all 64 power generators. This is Pioneer 10-1-11-15-19 signing off for today. And that's it for episode 2. If you enjoy the build and want to have access to these blueprints, check out my Patreon. It's going to be in the top comment as well as in the description. And you can subscribe there and have full access to all the blueprints that I use within this world, which will include the bridge as a placeable blueprint, as well as the road separately or the rail separately, entirely up to you. All available on my Patreon, so check that out. And lastly, Patrons, thank you so much for your support. Your continuous support is what allows me to do these kind of builds. And that's it from my side, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.